How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Crypto Unveiled YouTube channel. In today's video we'll be looking at a lower market cap altcoin which really does have some of the most insane potential on the cryptocurrency market, and it is such an underrated coin. If you guys are new around here, make sure you do hit the subscribe button as we post regular cryptocurrency content that you guys do not want to miss out on. And of course, like I said in every single one of my videos, guys, this is not financial advice, this is strictly entertainment purposes only, so make sure you go out and do your own research and come to your own conclusion before investing into any coins or tokens that I mention in my videos. With that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. So if you haven't guessed it already, which I'm sure you would have already, today's video is all about Flux. And why I wanted to cover Flux in today's video is because I've covered it many times in the past, but I really do believe that Flux is such an underrated and undervalued cryptocurrency. I mean, some of the features and the technology behind Flux makes Flux at one of the cryptocurrencies right at the top of my list, and one of the cryptocurrencies which I'm the most bullish on. And I hope by the end of this video you will also be bullish on Flux. So if we look at the current price of Flux, you can see it's currently sitting at just over 58 cents per Flux, and you can see over the last 7 days it's actually up over 14%. And if you look at the chart at the start here of the week, it's had quite a big spike up, and then over the week it's had a few ups and downs, but been fairly stable and stagnant around here. You can see if we look to the last day, you can actually see that it's actually been quite a negative in the last day, sitting at 6.82% down on the day. But once again, if we look back at the 7-day chart and look at how how well it's been doing over the last week, we will see that this is only a small little correction, and it is to be expected, of course, because if any cryptocurrency is doing especially well and it's been pumping up in in market cap or price recently, there is always a correction due, because this is just normal in the cryptocurrency space, or even the traditional space, for people to take profits and for the price to drop a bit if the coin is doing so well. However, once again, if we, this backs up my point even further, how Flux has been doing so well recently. You see over the last month it's up over 36%, and once again, just a very, very nice, good, general, very good positive uptrend here. From down here was sort of in the red, and then suddenly it's been growing in market cap and price very, very nicely. Again, if we look over the last year, you would actually see that it's actually not up that very much in the last year. You would see back in, when was this? The 2nd of February, the 4th of February here, so the start of 2023, Flux actually did have a huge run up here, almost to $1 per coin, so almost 2x of the value right now. Then ever since then it did drop, as we started to get more and more into the bear market, which is very normal in the crypto space at the moment, because we are in a we're probably right in the middle of a bear market right now. And you can see it's went very low here, but for all the people who did actually pick up down here, congratulations, because of course you can see now it's after that point it's gone back on a positive uptrend, and let's hope that it continues up on this uptrend. Why I talk about Flux so much, and why I believe Flux has such a huge potential, not only because of the tech behind it, but also because of the market cap, guys. We are still so early into Flux. You can see just sitting at just under $200 million market cap, and I believe, like I keep saying in this video, this is so undervalued and underrated for Flux. I believe Flux should be in the billions of dollars for market cap, and yeah, once we get into a bit more detail about Flux, I also believe you will also think that. We can see, even though the price over the last day is actually down, over 6.6%, the 24-hour volume is actually up over 126%, which is actually very weird. I'm not sure if many people are trading Flux right now because of it might be a bit volatile or whatever, but that is incredible to see. I mean, 126% up volume over the last 24 hours is really crazy to see. We can see the circulating supply of, the current circulating supply of Flux is currently sitting at just over 338 million Flux, with the max, or the total supply, at 440 million Flux as well, with the fully diluted market cap sitting at just over $258 million. If we now go on to the next part of the video, which is talking about what Flux actually is. In this video, I'm not going to go too in depth about what actually Flux does, because I believe a lot of people watch the video already know, or if you want to go learn a bit more, watch my last videos. But I'm going to just do a simple little thing, a simple little definition of Flux, because I do believe they explain it very well on their own website, which is run on flux.io if you want to come check it out for yourself. But it's all about letting people build their own applications on Flux. So you can see here, Flux Cloud is the people-powered network to help you build decentralized applications with increased flexibility, scalability, and censorship resistance. So basically, Flux allows developers, or even any ordinary person, to build decentralized apps on the Flux network, and they actually have they have cloud storage available, and cloud servers for you to actually build your decentralized apps on this. On the actual Flux network. And why I'm so bullish about Flux and why I'm so excited about Flux is because the technology that Flux has with this cloud computing is so ahead of all the other competition. I mean, if we just look at not only the technology but the actual price behind what Flux is charging compared to its competitors, I mean, it completely blows out its competitors out of the water. I mean, you can see it already. Flux is very, very well established. If you look at countries' locations, you've got 78 already, 78 countries already, set up. So it's got Finland. Finland is the majority. Germany, United States, and another 75 other countries which Flux nodes are already set up in, which is absolutely crazy to see. You can see the total nodes, over 12,000 nodes already. Total cores, over 92,000. Total SSD, almost touching 7 petabytes. And if we look at the total RAM, it's at 243 terabytes as well. Another thing with Flux, of course, they're talking about Web 3.0, which is, that is the future of not only the crypto space, but the whole internet is going to be going to the Web 3.0 space. So it's, it's very great that they are already looking at the future. They're future-proofing their coin already. It also talks about Flux Cloud advantages here, which is, all the normal stuff, which we like to see, all the good stuff in the cryptocurrency space. So redundancy, low cost, decentralization, security, all these different things you need to have in order for the coin to do well. So like I just said, I'm not only very bullish about the technology, but one of the main reasons is the price, because of course the price of any service or product often determines how well that product is going to be doing. If the product is too expensive, it doesn't matter if it's the best technology in the world. If it's too expensive, it will make it unaffordable for not just people, but big companies or whatever. So basically people will not use them, and this is where Flux actually does come in. You can see, compared to the other competitors of Flux, so if we look at a big one, Google Cloud is charging over $176 for the same service that Flux is charging for $5.29, guys. Absolutely crazy savings. I mean, if we look at big companies which will be using cloud storage or cloud computing, they will look at, and they're using, for example, AWS or Google Cloud, and they realize Flux is charging so much cheaper prices. Why would they not switch? I mean, if they get in the same technology, same service, exactly the same, but they just get getting at a fraction of the price, of course the companies are going to be switching over to Flux. I mean, it's basically a no-brainer. So now we're actually going to get into the main part of the video, which is, some really good positive points about Flux, which I want to expand on. And, I've already talked about the technology and why I'm so bullish about Flux, but I just wanted to have a few more other points which I wanted to expand on, just to further back up my points on why I believe Flux is such a great cryptocurrency. So I put positive points about Flux: small market cap, which we've already talked about in this video, so huge amount of potential. So I put, e.g., doesn't need a huge amount of investment or a huge amount of money pushed into the market cap for the existing investors to see huge gains. And what I mean by this, if you get a coin such as Bitcoin, for example, which is the hundreds of billions of dollars, you need another 100. You need basically what's the Bitcoin market cap? It's around 700 billion, I believe. You would need another 700 billion dollars to just see a 2x return on your money, which is, a 2x return on your money is all right, but you need a $700 billion of money pushed into the market cap, which is, it's an incredibly large amount of money. So it's not going to be as easy as, for say example, with Flux's market cap sitting at just under $200 million. And of course, I'm not saying $200 million is not a lot of money, but in the crypto space, $200 million is not a lot of money at all. I mean, we can, we in the past we've seen cryptocurrencies get tens of billions of dollars in days, if not weeks or days, and so if we get that sort of amount of money into Flux, you'll be seeing like a 10, 20, 30, 40x on your investment in Flux, just from the fact that Flux has a much lower market cap, so it has a lot more potential to grow with a lot smaller amount of money, which is always very good to see. Another thing I put about Flux is still not mainstream, so I haven't seen many big YouTubers talking about Flux. I've seen a few other crypto YouTubers which I watch on YouTube talk about Flux because of, of course it's a great coin, but it's still not talked about by the big YouTubers, and of course it has not been picked up by the mainstream media, and I really do believe that Flux is incredibly underrated, and not many people are talking about Flux right now. If we look at the technology, I mean, this should be all you need to see to just be able to say, Flux is a great coin. If they can actually hold up on their technology and provide the same services to these companies and people, then I do not see why Flux will not be, a great massive coin in the future. I've also put great team behind Flux. So, the team behind Flux is constantly updating and improving Flux throughout the years. Flux has been around for years. Which does actually sort of, bring me on to my next point, which is proven track record. So I believe these 2 points sort of do link in together. So, the great team behind Flux also has one of the main reasons why people believe they have such a great team is because of their proven track record of being around for such a long period of time, years and years and years, and constantly still being here, updating and improving. Even when the price of the price or the market cap of Flux decreases, the team is still sticking around, which brings a great amount of confidence to the investors that the Flux team are here to stay, and they are here to stay until Flux does become big time in the crypto space. Of course, the main point, which of course I've been touching on throughout this video, is one of the main points which I wanted to just end off this video, and that is of course the technology. I believe that the technology is the whole reason why people are so bullish about Flux, like I keep saying throughout this video. But it is so, I cannot express how underrated Flux is, because the technology behind Flux is so ahead of its time. I mean, providing, like I keep saying, providing the same services as these huge companies are, but just providing them at a fraction of the cost is just, I mean, if you compare the prices here, it is nowhere even close. I mean, it's less than half, it's less than a quarter, it's less than a tenth, guys, of these other companies' prices, and they're offering the same service. I cannot, express that enough. And so, amazing tech beating all other competitors. I mean, if they beat all the other competitors, then why would these companies not use them? It's basically just a no-brainer, in my mind anyway. If they're actually able to provide the same service, then why would these companies not use them? And of course, if these big companies do start to use them, then they are going to be spreading the word. It's going to even bring more investors, more popularity towards Flux, because then they're going to be even more reputable if they start working with big companies, and it's just going to make Flux coin explode in the future. Apart from that, guys, I'd like to thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure you comment down below what you think about Flux. Are you going to invest? Are you already going to invest? Are you already invested? And yeah, apart from that, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Peace.